Hey everyone, my name is your Parastox and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Generations for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, and Nintendo 3DS. This is going to be a bonus video covering the 5 modern Sonic stages of Seaside Hill. Now before we get started, I'd like to recommend the one challenge that you should do in order to get the Seaside Hill key, and that is Act 2, Challenge 3. This is Trick Island. Now, like I explained back in the previous bonus video for Seaside Hill, there aren't any challenges with skills in them, so we're going to be choosing our stage depending on how much fun it is to play through them. So, I chose this one. If you're not very fond of this challenge, then you should practically do any other challenge except Act 2 Challenge 1. Oh, that one's so bad. And unfortunately, we're going to be playing through Act 2 Challenge 1 right now. Let's get this over with. Alright, it's time for Rouge, the Temptress. Press the triangle button to have Rouge take out enemies using her wiles and reach the goal in time. Well, this should be interesting.
That piece of junk robot is no match for my charms.
Alright, take 4 billion because this stage sucks. And so does Rouge. Seriously, you're only proving my point that your challenges are abysmal anyway. Our goal is to get to the goal ring in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. And to progress further through the stage, you have to make light bridges appear, which is only possible if you take out enemies. Although they have shields, so how are you supposed to do that? Well, apparently you're supposed to make the robots fall in love with Rouge by pressing triangle. And once they let their guards down, you can hit them and they make light bridges. Totally makes sense, Sega. But you know, I just think this level's weird, mainly because the robots can fall in love with Rouge. I mean, did Eggman give them like a love chip or something like that? I mean, how does that work? Why did he even do that? He gave his robots a weakness. It's like Bowser telling his green Koopas to fall off ledges, even though that would probably kill them. It just doesn't make any sense, and it leaves your minions with a disadvantage, a huge one at that. But the main reason why I don't like this stage is just because of how Rouge controls. I mean, she's necessary to complete the stage, so moving her around can be quite sluggish, and she only really shoots out hearts in a line, and that's it. You really have to be pretty precise in order to get them to fall in love with Rouge. It's just not very fun. Although the one thing I do like about this stage is the fact that it's nighttime in Seaside Hill and all the torches are lit. I really would have liked to have seen all the stages have a nighttime and a daytime version. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, it's time for Act 2, Challenge 2. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, it's time for another Doppelganger race, so let's get started. Alright, here we are once again, Seaside Hill. Let's get started. Alright, remember I said back in the video where we covered both classic and modern Sonic Seaside Hill that in the extras I would talk about why I love modern Sonic Seaside Hill, because of how open the water is in that stage. Well, if you haven't realized by now, those orange buoys aren't there just for show. They're there to show you where to go, like a water path. But if you go beyond those buoys, you'll get eaten by the giant chomper. Now you're probably thinking you're just making that up, because it's not like Sonic Unleashed where if you drift back and forth you'll have an endless amount of boost energy. So you can go anywhere, because that trick doesn't work in Generations. And I would say you're right, but there is another way. Later on in the game you'll be able to obtain a skill that'll give you unlimited boosting powers, which is why I think that having a giant chomper guarding the boundaries in case anyone gets any ideas is a really cool idea, and that's why I love this stage. They took a concept from Green Hill and put it in Seaside Hill and made the enemy like a guard dog, and it fits perfectly so they don't have to close off the stage with giant orange mountains. They were able to give the player the look of open waters as far as the eye can see, while also making sure that nobody could get that far. Although, people have found a way how to break that system, unfortunately. But it's still a very cool idea. And I just love how much effort they put into the stage. I mean, the go-kart track itself, the turtles down below it, they picked a lot of really nice places to like put a lot of the stuff they wanted to put into the stage itself, all the rock formations, the way they were able to keep all the open water, all the towers just all around, and all the whale statues. It was just, the stage is just filled with creativity. I mean, they put so much effort, and the design of this whole entire place just is amazing. I mean, there's probably not any other stage in this game that looks nearly as good as this place. And I'm serious, I mean, probably the closest is probably the last stage in this game, which I'm not going to spoil what it is. But this stage just looks so impressive. And it just might be me just being a fanboy over this stage, but this stage is just amazing. They did everything right with this stage. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, it's time for the recommended challenge of this video. It's time for Act 2, Challenge 3. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, it's time for Trick Island. Use rainbow rings to pull off enough tricks and reach the goal in time. Alright then, sounds interesting enough. Let's get started. Alright, let's go! Okay, so our goal is to perform more than 35 tricks by the time we reach the goal. We gotta get there in less than 1 minute and 40 seconds, so let's go! Now I recommend pulling off tricks in the same direction and not doing it in multiple directions, because you won't be able to pull off nearly as many tricks. Sure, you'll get more boost out of it, but our goal isn't to get as much boost as possible. Our goal is to pull off as many tricks as possible. So doing it in the same direction will give us more time. This is also a pretty good stage to get the achievement for pulling off 7 or more tricks with 1 rainbow ring or 1 trick ramp. We've gone 30 out of 35 so far, and look how much boost we have. Jeez, that's a lot. Alright, let's see. Come on. And 3, 4. Nope. Okay. And there we go. Let's go. Well, seeing as how we've already gone past the necessary amount, let's see how much we can get now. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and 49. If only we got 50, that would have been awesome. Anyway, the challenge has been completed. Now, let's head to the next one, shall we? And now it's time for Act 2, Challenge 4. Let's get started. Alright, it's time for Surf, Sea, and Sand. Take on various courses and find your way to the goal before time runs out. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's get started. Alright, our goal is to get to the goal ring in less than 1 minute, so we have to be fast. Let's go. Hit these balloons. And let's go. Drift. Whoa, that was close, okay. Doing good so far. Little jump. Ow. Okay, big jump needed for that one. And let's go. Alright, jump. Oh god. Going a little fast. Alright. Almost out of boost. Oh god! Okay, don't get hit, don't get hit. And jump! Haha! Yes! Oh crap. That cart just got totaled. No wonder why Sonic's in those progressive commercials. Anyway, let's move on to the final challenge of Seaside Hill. It is time for Act 2, Challenge 5. Let's go. Alright, it's time for Terror from the Deep. Skim the water's surface and try not to get chomped by a giant chomper. Get to the goal in time. Alright then, let's get started. I'm all for water skiing, but this might be a little much. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, let's save our boost up, because we're definitely going to need it for the shortcut I'm about to do. Let's go! There it is! Alright, we got back in the safe zone before it chomped me. And let's go. Boom! Alright, so our goal is to get to the goal ring in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So, let's head back onto the water road. Get some rings if you need some. I didn't collect any of them right there, which could have been a little dangerous for me. Have to make sure I always keep a constant amount of rings, because boosting on the water is going to take up a lot more boost energy than just running on land. Alright, we made it. So, let's hit the springs. And now it's time for the precise platforming part. No! I failed the precise platforming part! No! Anyway, let's take the water road to the goal, and there we go. Challenge has been completed. Wish there would have been more missions like these, but anyway, now that we're done with the 10 challenges of Seaside Hill, let's see what it looks like now. Alright, now that we've done the 10 challenges for Seaside Hill, all of Seaside Hill has been restored. Alright then. Now that we've saved all 3 of the levels from the Dreamcast era, let's collect our final boss gate key. You've collected all boss gate keys. Use them to unlock the boss gate. Alright then. Now that we're done here, let's head over to the boss gate, and we'll end off things there. Oh boy. This is gonna be more fun than I thought. Alright, I think I'll just end off things here. Next time on Sonic Generations, we're gonna be taking on Shadow the Hedgehog and the boss of the Dreamcast era. Oh, this is gonna be good. See you guys then.